Yeah. Are you going to speak?
I was just seeing how long I could do that before you finally said something. What's happening? What's up, guys? What's happening?
Hi.
It's Sunday. So it's Sunday live haul day. You know what? I honestly, I enjoy the Wednesday show, the Boss Up and List show, but it does require a little more preparation because it's, a lot of times we try to have like a guest on or something. So I will say that my favorite shows to do are this show, the Sunday live haul, and then the No Pants Friday, but I'm not really sure which one I like more because they're both
depends on the day. I really like the whole live haul and talking about our solds and hauls and stuff like that because that's super fun. But I love the No Pants Friday because it's like there's no agenda and we're just like chatting with our friends.
Yeah, it's just like it's super easy and chill, and I don't know, is that like a really lame word to use? It's super chill, guys.
It's super chill.
It's super chill.
You're super 90s.
But anyway, I do love the Sunday live haul. It takes a little bit more prep than the Friday show does.
I have a little purple in my hair. I see Cheryl's in the house. Cheryl always likes to comment on the purple. So
yeah, so you're like preemptively commenting for Cheryl about your hair. Hey guys, what's happening? What's up?
We got 65 people in the house already.
That's crazy.
So yay.
That's crazy.
We're just starting.
Yeah. Carrie Bear's mom says Denver Broncos shirt in the background. Yeah, it is. Because I want you guys to remember, because we're limited time. We'll get into that a little more later. We will. But let me tell you, just before I started the broadcast here on the computer, I was getting scolded. I was getting a scolding. I was getting a talking to. Can you tell them why I was getting a talking to?
Okay, so Katie loves to do giveaways. She loves to buy stuff to give away. The cat shirts, I do too. Games, mugs, all that kind of stuff. We always pick up things like boss things. She picks up the ugly cat shirts. I'm sorry, the funny cat shirts. But then she forgets to mail them out to people. So she has the notebook with the name and the address, and then they're sitting there in the corner. I'm like, have you mailed that yet? So again, apologies if you won something in the last week or two and it has not been mailed out. It's her fault. So apparently I need to take over the mailing of things because she sucks at it.
I am so ashamed.
And you should be. So she has this little corner of her office that is full of giveaway prizes, pretty much.
That's true.
T-shirts, eBay games, eBay swag, mugs, all kinds of crap that it's fun to give away, but I'm going to be the one that's going to be tasked with actually mailing it, I'm sure. So
there were like 3 prizes that we picked when Lorna was here. Those have not been shipped out because I'm hireable. So it's like a lot of people will say like I think Wade was the last person that made this comment that like figure out what you're not good at and basically get someone else to do it.
Oh, so thank you.
Like I'm good at getting my orders out.
She is the least organized person I've ever met, and I'm super organized. So we're like totally an Oscar and Felix thing going on.
I don't know that it's a matter of me not being organized. It's more like I'm getting my work done, and I got to get my stuff out that's been ordered, and then I'm like, I can send that tomorrow, and then the next day I'm like, I can send it tomorrow, and then pretty soon it's like 2 weeks later, and then I'm a horrible person. So she's way more responsible when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm going to let her take that part over. Because
that's okay.
Because
so
I
she'll pay the shipping, and I'll just do it.
Like she's one of those people who actually like sends out Christmas cards, whereas I'm the one that's like, you know what, it'd be cool to send out Christmas cards. Be cool, and then it's like it never gets done.
Absolutely, send out Christmas cards, and I handwrite notes. I even handwrite the cards. So yeah.
Pretty much. Anyway, poor Christy Ann. She's been waiting for some stuff for me forever. In fact, I owe her a Bossum t-shirt, which I haven't even ordered yet. See, I told you, so put a little note down.
I have my piece of paper and my notes here because she's terrible.
I'm horrible. So make me order the shirt so I can send it to Christy Ann. Plus, we were going to send her some other goodies that she won in the giveaway. Anyway, Karen says that I tricked you. I didn't trick her.
She'll pay for it.
She's good at this stuff. I will give her the money for it, but she's much better at getting the stuff done. And so it's all good though.
I'm a lot more organized when it comes to that stuff, but there is plenty of things that I'm not organized with. So you know, one of the things I was doing and starting to do this morning, which my friend Heather Worth will appreciate and Teresa will appreciate, is I'm actually tackling my taxes. So like a lot of small business people, a lot of self-employed people, I filed a tax extension for 2017. Pretty normal, fairly normal. And my extension runs out October 15th. So where am I almost September 1st and have not even looked at anything for 2017? I'm horrible. I have it all together. If you saw the pile of receipts and how they're jumbled together, you would find it comical. Hundreds and hundreds of receipts in a big jumble I just shove into a file folder in my office. And now I have to separate the receipts and actually go through, and I use outright bookkeeping through GoDaddy. And it's not 100% perfect, and you have to go in and, you know, categorize all your expenses and everything. So
yeah. So Cheryl asked, are they packed?
She's going to hand them to me, hopefully with a list of who it goes to and their name and address, and I will just package and ship the things. And considering we only do a couple of weeks, this really shouldn't be that difficult.
It's from here on out, it's going to be smooth sailing because I'm handing the control over to her, and she's going to be much better at it. Yeah, pretty much. I know. Levan Morrissey says that's a good looking sweater in the background. Real good looking. Real good looking.
I file my receipts under the mattress.
I think that's a good call.
That's not a bad spot.
I do have all my receipts. They're just all in one place. I need to go through and separate mine out as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, so part of why I brought up that is because, you know, so on Friday we did No Pants Friday. And I think at the beginning I told you guys I was running around like crazy up until the last second because we had gone out and gone sourcing, and then we came home and I had a bunch of stuff I had to ship out. And so it's like I was so kind of like scattered, like when we very first started the show, that I completely forgot about this giveaway that I had posted about on Thursday on Instagram, which, by the way, guys, if you're not following us on Instagram, we each have our own accounts. I'm at Katie Zilverberg. Vicky is at LV Pink Panther, and she just switched hers over to a business account. She had it private before, so it's like you had to like request to let her.
Now you can just follow.
Now you can just go look at all of her stuff and follow her. Anyway, go ahead and follow us. And who knows, maybe we'll start doing more giveaway stuff on Instagram. Maybe Vicky will start doing some as well, since I do have a giant pile of stuff. Anyway, I did this whole giveaway thing on Instagram, and I was supposed to announce the winner on the Friday show, and I completely forgot about it. So we're doing it today. We're going to do it right now. The shirt was, oh, where did I just put it? Anyway, this is the shirt that I found. This is an amazing cat shirt. Seriously, guys, this shirt, I would totally keep it if it was my size. Ryan and Allie, Bradley Roots, are on the lookout for one because Ryan has one that's the right size for him that he loves. It's the exact same shirt. But this is I think it's it's an XL. And seriously, it's kitty cats in space, astronaut kitty cats. But what's crazy is like the Earth.
And you can find a couple of them, but they're like $30 on eBay, and refuses to spend that for.
Here's the thing about cat shirt. No, it's not so much that. But here's the thing about cat shirts specifically. I don't want to go buy them because half of the fun is finding them out in the wild, like
right, for a buck or two.
Like I get it, and it's just fun, and it makes it more exciting. If I just went and if I could just go to eBay and be like, funny cat T-shirt. There's a million of them. I could just sit there and buy them all, and then that's no fun. So it's way more fun to find them. But this, like, look, the Earth is pretty much being destroyed. I'm not sure if the cats, are they friends or are they foes? Are they saving the planet or are they the ones destroying it? I don't know. Anyway, so I did this whole thing on Instagram. 7 people participated. They had to basically repost my post, do hashtag cat t-shirt giveaway, tag me. I got 7 people. So right now we're going to go share the screen, and we're going to do this giveaway. I'm going to do a random number generator, and then we're going to pick a winner, and then Vicky's going to make sure that it actually gets done. Anyway,
oh goodness.
So just for full transparency, so you guys can see, we've got 7 people here. I've got them all lined up in the numbers 1 through 7. I'm telling you guys, if we do more giveaways in the future on Instagram, you should be following us because these are pretty good odds right here. So I've got a random number generator set up right here. This right now is 1 through 10, but I'm gonna make it 1 through 7. 1 through 7. Why is Treasure Hustlers telling us to wait? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I'm gonna generate a random number. Bam! Oh, it just generated 5. I actually did hit it, guys. It's the same number that was already on there, but it did 5. And what? It's Flippin' Hippos. Are you kidding me?
Star.
That's Star. Flippin' Hippos, guys. Flippin' Hippos. What's funny is I don't know if did you see Flippin' Hippos over in the chat?
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen her in there. A lot of times she shows up. Anyway, so Flippin' Hippos. It's funny because we were just going to do. I'm gonna pull up my really awesome graphics here. Some boss up shout outs. Some hashtag boss up shout outs. Let me tell you a little something about Flippin' Hippos. So she's got a YouTube channel. I've actually got it right here. This is her YouTube channel. Ooh, she just made it over 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys over here in the chat so you can go check it out. But the reason I was going to bring up Flippin' Hippos, aka Star, is because another fellow reseller, Frenchie, aka The Real Stitch, is going to be on her show tonight, which is what, at 8 o'clock Eastern. So that's 5 o'clock our time, 5 o'clock Pacific. So Frenchie is hilarious. If you guys watch Wade's show, Wade's Ventures, she was on the other night and she is so funny. We were giggling hysterically. Right now, the only videos she has on her channel are these little like promos for, there's the promo that she had from when she was on Wade's show and then her promo for Star's show, Flippin' Hippos.
She was really funny.
So she had this little promo up on her Instagram. Vicky was laughing so hard she was going into silent laugh mode, which is like where she's got like the little, she's kind of doing the.
No, she's got another one she put on that is her in the in a car where she's rapping.
Oh yeah, and that's not here yet. But you guys totally follow Frenchie, The Real Stitch, on Instagram. Also Flippin' Hippos, all good stuff. Just giving shout outs left and right. Now, the other boss up shout out I want to give, Lorna, who right now, I believe I saw her in the chat earlier. I know that she is super busy right now doing a bunch of reorganization. She sent me a message saying like she didn't know she was going to be able to make the show because she's in the middle of reorganizing her storage unit. This was the state of her storage unit before she started the process, or just as she was starting the process. Lots of stuff piled up everywhere.
And I don't know when she started this.
Yeah, I don't know.
This particular room. She's been doing a whole reorganization thing for a couple of months now and working her butt off, both in the house and in her storage unit and her office. So she's got like 3 areas of stuff where all of her inventory is. So
yeah, totally. And so she sent me this picture and then she sent me the after as it is so far. Look at how awesome it is. She's got like so much stuff like reorganized and set up on her shelves, looking really good. I'm pretty excited about it. I think she's been, she's still here. Well, good job, Lorna. I know we've been doing a lot of like we did the whole inventory intervention with Dorothy last week, or what was it, a week and a half ago. And we've been challenging people to do inventory interventions and all that stuff. And people have been really taking it to heart and like going and like.
And that was just from this morning, she said. She was just from this morning. She went from one to the other in a little over 3 hours. So
very, very cool. So she's been downsizing. Plus she's got this whole challenge that she will put out on her personal Facebook, challenging people to do like personal downsizing, like completely separate from
eBay.
Yeah, completely separate from eBay. I'm going to take a soft share right now.
Yeah, I actually went through about 2 parts of my bedroom today and got rid of about 20 things. I purged like 8 pairs of shoes and like 7 or 8 hats, and not to resell, just to get them out of the house. So yeah. I think I may end up with like 2 pairs of shoes that I might resell.
I think Lorna said she was gonna like, because Lorna's whole thing was she wanted people to set numbers of what they were going to completely get rid of out of their house, not resell.
Get it out.
Not resell. I mean, doing that too is fine, but she's talking about like, I think her goal is 15 items a day. So at least 15 items a day, every single day for 2 weeks. Get rid of it, donate it,
go through your
out of the house,
go through your kitchen, go through your old towels. I mean, there's so much crap. I know that I hang on to a lot of stuff. Lorna is a lot like me. She's pretty sentimental. She hangs on to a bunch of things for sentimental reasons. I know I do that, like old gifts. I mean, I have stuff that people gave me in high school that really I should get the frig rid of because it sits in a drawer or in a box or in a closet, like for sentimental reasons, and not because it has any value. It's just, taking up space and dust collectors,
Yep, absolutely. So, Kathy Sigler just asked if I got her email about an accountability partner. Yes, I did get it. We were out and about and I got the email, so I could not respond to it right away. So Kathy was asking about getting help with finding an accountability partner. And Kathy, I have a question for you. Are you in the Boss Facebook group right now? Let me know and I'll wait a second for you to respond. And what? What? Heather from Exclusive Elegance said she sold her vintage Adidas sweatshirt. This is the one that was exactly the same as the one that I had. She says, thanks, girls. You rock. She gave a super chat. Seriously, Heather, first of all, I need to know how much you sold it for. It's very important. And then I'm going to do my super chat song. Super chat. Super chat. Had a super chat. Wow. Seriously, guys.
Is that jazz hands at the end?
Well, I don't know. Is this jazz hands? I mean, because jazz hands is like kind of like you got to do this, like opposite directions. I was doing like kind of like this thing.
Almost like a Mr. Miyagi, like wax on, wax off.
But Heather found this vintage Adidas sweatshirt. It was the exact same one that I had found and sold, and I think hers was in better condition than mine. And
which one was it? That weird.
It was that one that had like it was like the Olympics one, and it had like the horse and
the one that you ordered from someone else that
came back. It was really in bad condition, and I ended up selling it for a ton anyway.
$100 low, but turnover's fast. All right, awesome.
All right, very cool, very cool. Super awesome. Real Stitches came in the house. Frenchie, I was talking about you, so you're gonna have to go back and watch from the beginning because I was talking about you.
Nice.
Anyway, that's super cool. Yeah, Barbara says she binge watched Raleigh Roots and Wade's Ventures this morning while taking pictures. Well, glad
they're both so cool and fun. Like Ryan and Allie are awesome. We love Wade too. So it's some good people out there on in the YouTube world that we didn't know before and are starting to get to know, and a lot of really good people, good sellers, good people with great personalities, and just it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And so here's the thing. Before I kind of got into doing the whole YouTube thing, I didn't really watch a lot of resellers on YouTube.
Me either.
And I was really terrible.
I had only ever seen one.
I barely did anything on Instagram. I have an Instagram account for my store that's just about the clothing I sell. It has nothing of my personality in it. So very, very little was being done on Instagram. And since we've been building up this channel and doing more stuff and talking to more people online, we've been interacting a lot more with other YouTubers. And then we went to Open and we kind of got more involved with the Instagram side of things. And it's like it's opened up this whole new world of this, like an even bigger community that we weren't as involved in.
Yeah, we just didn't know they existed. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, and Heather from Exclusive Elegance, I did see your post on Instagram with your husband dancing with the mannequin. That was pretty funny. Dancing with the Stars with the mannequin. Okay, so let's get back to Kathy Sigler says, no, she is not in the Boss Up Facebook group. I would suggest if that's the best way for you to find an accountability partner. We do a lot of daily listing challenges in that group, but there are other people that have branched off and kind of gone onto their own little challenges. So that would be a great post for you to put in the Facebook group.
If you're in Facebook, because I don't know, she might not even be in Facebook. If you are on Facebook, you should join the boss group because we could do a post about accountability partners. Because that is one of the things that I suggest people have. Like, it's one thing to be a part of a bigger community, but it is really nice to have like 1 or 2 or 3 people that you actively talk to. Like we talk to Lorna and Teresa, and like I talk to Eddie a lot. It's like we have these people that we kind of talk to about like what our goals are.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice to have somebody like that.
Let's see, what else do we have here in the chat? Rosie dropped off her daughter at college on Friday, and it was really hard. I can imagine. I have a 25-year-old, I know.
But then she came home, watched No Pants Friday, and felt so much better.
I know, that's fun. And Thrifty Mom, we do have set times for our shows. They are 3 days a week, 3 shows a week. They are set times, but if you subscribe to the channel below and click on subscribe and get notifications. At the very least, it's a little bell, and it's going to give you a notification to remind you when we have the shows, but they are set times. So we have Wednesday is the live Boss Up and List show. That's at 11 a.m. Pacific. Friday is No Pants Friday. That is at 1 p.m. Pacific. And Sunday is our live haul show, and that is 2 p.m. Pacific. So they are the same times all the time. We've only had to deviate from that once when we were out of town. So we'll try. We are going to be going out of town soon, and it's probably going to change a lot more because
for that particular week, we're not going to be very available.
We're probably going to not have any set shows that week, and then we might be able to do one surprise one during the week.
We might I think we'll probably try to do a couple of like pre-recorded things that we can release during the week. So there's still content coming out. But yeah, and also if you follow us on Instagram, like I said, we're becoming a lot more active on there. So I try and post like at least a couple of pictures every single day, a couple of little videos. I've done like a live video a couple of times on there. So you'll get like, kind of lots of fun content through there.
Yeah. So we've got to get moving along here. Okay. We're already 20 minutes in.
What?
I know.
Oh, real quick. We should talk about, you guys, my Denver Broncos sweatshirt over here. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again really quick because this is really super important. Like really important. Like really important, guys. Okay. So for those of you who maybe don't know, this is a shirt I tried to get Vicky to buy because it's actually like women's. And she said it was too horrible, too horrible, too ugly to sell. So I got it. And I was like telling her, listen, you don't even know I'm going to be able to sell this. And then on last week's show, we pretty much, between myself and the people in the chat, like egging me on, we decided that I could sell it for $100. And Vicky said, if you sell that for $100, I will do the super chat song. And so
I said I will do a super chat song.
Whatever,
it's not necessarily the
super chat
original
song.
Super chat
so then
song.
I decided to make it even harder for myself and say I'm going to sell it for $100 within 7 days. And I set it up as an auction. And as you can see, I only have 2 hours and 43 minutes left to sell this, and nobody's bid on it. I've got like I've got a ton of, already have 850 views. I think I've got like, 47 watchers. There it is right there. I need to sell this, guys, in the next 2 hours.
And those 47 watchers, are all people that watch the show.
For sure. So basically, I'll read this again like I did before. The title was Most Majestic Denver Broncos Sweatshirt Ever Created, Vintage 80s. When I first purchased a sweatshirt to sell, my fiance told me, no one will ever buy that. It's hideous. She didn't believe in this magic masquerading as clothing. She didn't believe in me. It's time to prove her wrong and show the world nobody puts this Denver Broncos dazzled up vintage 80s sweatshirt in the corner. And I'm telling you guys, it is a beauty. It's a beauty. Come on. Look at this detail. Look at it. Anyway, this needs to sell, guys. I need one bid on this in the next couple of hours because I'm telling you, Vicky's been thinking about what she's going to do for her song. I don't think you guys want to miss out on this. Do you want to tell them what song you were thinking? I feel like it could. I feel like
I've got to figure out a way. Christiane is really good at changing lyrics, so we'll see. But I'm thinking maybe a little MC Hammer.
You guys. She's willing to do an MC Hammer super chat song, but only if I can sell this sweatshirt.
Maybe Bismarcky.
Maybe Bismarcky. So we're talking old school hip hop. We're talking old school 80s hip hop. If I can sell this shirt in the next 2 hours, okay, for $100. So I know you might not have that kind of cash laying around, but seriously, I think I put the link down in the description of this video. Like, tweet that out. Put it out on Instagram.
We have 225 people watching right now.
Post it. Here, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. Seriously, guys. Post this everywhere, social media. I gotta have it happen in the next 2 hours. It has to happen because we want this one right here to
if that happens, you will get a super chat song, and it'll be a week from now because we have the biggest audience live on Sundays.
Yeah, we're talking MC Hammer, guys, Bismarcky. We're talking like some sweet 80s hip hop. She is gonna lay down the beats, but it's only gonna happen if we sell this sweatshirt.
Well, hey, and it can't be returned. It has to be an actual sale. If it gets returned, I'm gonna take that.
Whatever you guys gotta do. If some of you guys have to like put together some sort of collection between you guys so that you can get it, I mean, come on, it's gonna be amazing. Anyway, it'll be awesome.
I may find my super chat voice anyway, Lee. Chris Lee, you are. Shh. But
don't tell them that.
But it's not going to happen.
You can't tell them it's going to happen anyway. Are you trying to ruin this? No. Here's the thing. If it does not sell, I'm not going to let her do a super chat for at least 6 months. There's going to be a 6 months moratorium.
I don't do super chats. I don't sing and dance. Katie does that.
She does not.
I'm a karaoke queen. I will not allow it. But
okay, yeah. The only way she gets to do this is if that sweatshirt sells. So come on. All right. So I guess we should
actually talk about our solds. What are we talking about?
No, you were going to talk about something real quick.
What was I going to talk about?
Our Wednesday show.
Oh, and our Wednesday show. I did post this in the Boss Up Facebook group, the Boss Facebook group, and I did post it on Instagram. But I have only had 2 volunteers so far. So one of the things that we're looking to do for our Wednesday show, we're going to do this at least once a month. We've done it a few times. We want to do a live store review for the Wednesday Boss Up and List show. So if somebody is interested in having a store review, generally somebody that might be struggling with their sales, might need a little bit of guidance, Maybe you're a new seller, or maybe you just came back to it, whatever reason, maybe you want some guidance and help with your store. Maybe your listings aren't selling. The only requisite is that you must have a webcam, whether it's on your laptop or you've got a little one attached to your computer, and you must be willing to go live with us. We will be gentle, but we will be showing your store name, and your listings. So we've done a few, and everybody that we've done them for has really liked them, as well as the audience. So if you're interested in a store review, you need to send Katie a message. Underneath this show is for contact information, or you can send it to me through the boss group, whatever. You find me on Facebook, I don't care, Instagram, whatever. So I just need to get some information for you to be considered to do the store review. I just need to have your real name if you're sending me the information through Instagram, because a lot of people have, like the fake names or made up names. So I need your real name and your store name, because I want to take a look at some of these stores. And we're going to basically pick somebody for Wednesday, and whoever we don't pick is going to go on a list, and eventually we'll get to you if you still want it.
Allison at Big Drift Thrift would like to do a testimonial. She says over here in the chat, the store review changed my life. I recommend it.
Well,
we had a lot of fun.
I don't know if it would change your life. I think you might be exaggerating a bit, but we had. No,
actually, Allison has a great story and awesome stuff.
Yeah, it was really hard to do anyway.
Yeah, but it went. Yeah, so
Elaine says she's been selling without a store, going to sign up and then volunteer to be a victim. Good job.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't have a store, it's okay. We can still you can still send us your username, and we'll just basically do the review on your listings, because it really is the same thing. And then we can tell you like, hey, yeah, you should definitely be getting a store. Mm-hmm. So we say store review, we really mean an account review. Like, we're just looking at whatever your listings are.
Maria, how can you find the reviews on your videos? If you look for the Wednesday Boss Up and List shows specifically, you can scroll back and see the title will say it's a.
I think it says intervention.
Intervention. I think it's an intervention, store intervention.
Yeah. So it's like a store intervention.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Gretchen says, does Vicky get to dress you up or color your hair, Katie, if it does not sell? Here's the thing. She has no interest in seeing, if you're talking about like dressed up, like how would I be dressed up? Would I be dressed up like super girly? She doesn't like that. So it's happened before and she doesn't like it.
You don't like it either. It's not.
I know I don't like it, but I'm just saying that's not really something that you would enjoy as like your.
It's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So
it's kind of creepy because she's so not a girly girl, obviously. So we actually did a thing called the Roper Romp that we're going to do again this year, which is everybody dresses up like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company in like muumuus and wigs and gaudy makeup and stuff. So it was super funny. We actually did that with a bunch of friends. We all were wearing wigs and dressed in muumuus, and we're going to do it again. It's it's guys, it's girls. It's very funny. A lot of guys in drag. We had a great time, but she had a wig on and tons of weird makeup and a muumuu, and she looked totally not like herself. Yeah. So it was ridiculous. Yeah. If you're friends with us on Facebook, go find some pictures.
Gretchen says she was thinking costume wise. Here's the thing, me dressing up in any kind of costume, I would enjoy that. So
she would do it anyway.
Yeah. So it's not, I don't know what you would get out of me other than like what, maybe I have to clean the house or something like that. Like that would be exciting to you.
That would be exciting. Could you finally weed the front yard like I've been asking for a month?
What? Shh. She just got real. Okay. Anyway, let's go into. So yeah, contact us if you want to have your store reviewed.
And let's see, like one other thing that we're going to talk about, and then we can just get into all of our stuff. Is I'm going to do a giveaway toward the end of the show, and I went and picked up this really cute mug.
I think it's really cute. It's like kind of the 70s.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, I don't know.
Kind of Wonder Woman.
It's a Russ brand mug. Of course, it was my little Savers pickup. I paid, 25% off of that. So anyway, so keep in mind, if you're paying attention to the show, we'll probably ask you a question about the show toward the end, and we'll use that to choose from.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into solds. We're only a half hour into the show.
I know, right?
Get to our solds. So, we're just going to show you some highlights of things that we've sold this last week. Hopefully some interesting stuff.
Yeah, so for me, it's been a little bit of a slower week. Last week was insane. I had a great week last week, great beginning of this week, but the past 5 or 6 days have been super slow. This is probably the slowest weekend I can ever remember on eBay for myself. But the last 3 weekends were fantastic. So I don't know. My store's off this weekend. Whatever.
Well, I don't remember who it was, but somebody I think in the last show said that their sales are like an EKG
Yeah, that's pretty much
read out.
that's what my sales.
And you know what?
Like.
I feel like mine
That's
are the same too, like kind of like that up and down, up and down. But I will say I feel like it's up and down, but trending up overall. That's how it has felt for me. So like mine are doing pretty well right now. And I feel like as we've been listing more, and plus we're getting a little bit closer to Q4, I do feel like overall you've been having some really good weekends and some really good days.
Mm-hmm.
Just but then it all drops off and you're like, no.
Yeah, pretty much.
So anyway, let me go
So
ahead.
I don't have any fantastic high dollar amount sales this week, but I have some that were good quick flips and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. All right, let's go ahead. I didn't even use like my highest sold just because I'm trying to go for like the more interesting stuff. But at any time, you guys, I share our stores in the description of the videos. So at any time you can go and look and see like everything that we sold.
Yeah, you can see our, you know,
it's not hidden from anybody. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna start with you. What you got?
Did you hit present to everyone?
Yeah, that's right now.
All right, so this is just a little cross stitch kit. I always pick these up depending on the brand. And I paid like $2 for this, and it sold within an hour of me listing it the other day for $50. This particular brand, this is one of the highest solds in that brand too. So I thought I was listing it pretty high at 50 with best offer, and it sold $50 real fast. Easy to list, easy to ship. I love cross stitch kits. So,
well, I know you were like, oh, did I list this for too cheap? And it's like, the thing is, it probably was just the right person at the right time, just saw it right when it came out.
Yeah, and then that person asked me,
something like that.
That person asked me if I had any more by that brand. I was like, nope, wish I did.
Yep. All right, so my first one, I think I showed these in a haul recent, like maybe a month or so ago.
Oh, you did Coach shorts. I love that.
Well, these ones, so I did not sell them for $152.99. I took an offer for $80 because I priced them crazy high because I was just like, these are awesome. There's none others out there right now. They were like practically brand new condition. They were actually hanging. I was done looking for stuff. Vicky was over in the women's section, and they were hanging like with the women's like pajama bottoms and shorts, but these are men's. And so I went ahead. I was like, yes.
You just got those a couple months ago.
Yeah, I don't really buy a lot of. I don't usually look in the pants or the shorts because, as I've said many times before, I don't like pants. But come on, these are awesome. And yeah, so I just sold these for $80, and I'm like, $80, sweet.
Mm-hmm. To answer your question, Gretchen, the cross stitch, no, it was not vintage. It was a few years old, like 2004 or something like that. So. Yeah, there are certain brands that sell very well, and then there are certain ones that don't sell for anything. Just depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one for you.
This is Lily Pulitzer, which we all know is a good brand to look out for. I did take an offer on this. I sold it for $85. Wow, look at that blurry photo. See? We don't take perfect photos. I don't know if I took
Speak
this
for
one
yourself.
or Dana took this one. Doesn't really matter. A couple blurry photos here and there. It happens all the time. I just do the best with what I have. Anyway, so this sold. I took an offer for $85. It was super small, as you can tell when we didn't zip all the way up. This is my big girl mannequin. So it sold in. That's it. I think I paid maybe $5 for it. Only had it listed for a couple months. It was pretty quick.
Thrifty Kitty wants to know if I list my vintage menswear in the men's vintage category. No, I don't. I list them in the regular categories. Sometimes I will cross list them. I will add a second category for vintage occasionally. I have that on some of my t-shirts. But overall, I'd rather have them in the bigger categories personally, just because they're depending on what it is somebody searches for. If the results overwhelmingly come up are in the regular, let's say for a t-shirt, if overwhelmingly the majority of the results are in just regular t-shirts, it'll sometimes self-filter and it'll only show the results in that one category. And so then they're going to miss them if they're not looking specifically in the vintage category, which a lot of people don't. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't do that. All right, so next one's a twofer. Now, in the past, I had tried doing promotions, like where you say, like, buy one, get a certain percentage off another one, or buy 5 items, get 20% off of everything. And I tried doing some promotions like that, and they just didn't work for me. But I have been doing it again lately because of the whole, like, moratorium on doing sales for, like, 14 days. And I think it's working differently for me now because I have so many like items, because now I have, like, tons and tons of t-shirts because I've been focusing on t-shirts a lot more. And so now I have this thing that's buy 2 or buy one item, get the second item for 50% off. And I'd say in the last month, I've had 4 different people do that. And so I sold, here's this Naughty Bears t-shirt. I think I sold it, or I showed it last week in last week's haul. I already sold this. Now what it does is it takes the lowest price item and it's half off of that. And it does take it off the sale price. So it's not the original price.
Oh, it does.
It does. So this was already 15% off. And so it was actually half off of this. So overall, like they paid only $15 for that. That's a little low for me. I mean, it balances out once you have this one added into it for $35.99. So altogether, it was like 51 something for 2 t-shirts. So that's great. I do think I'm going to change my promotion to buy one, get the second one 30% off, and see if I still see some of the same results. Because the way I have stuff priced now, I don't really want to sell things for quite so cheap. But still, over $50 for 2 t-shirts that I paid maybe $1 or $2 for each is not too bad.
Yeah.
So
I see that Star joined us from Flippin' Hippos. Girl, you won the cat shirt from the Instagram contest. If you can send me or Katie a message through Facebook or through Instagram with your shipping address, that would be awesome.
Star, let me tell you right now,
go
ahead and send it to me. We were talking earlier, Vicky's going to be doing any shipping out of prize winnings. So go ahead and message her like through Instagram, because I know you're active on there. And let her know what your address is.
Yeah, the buy one, get one, this or that doesn't really work for me either, Heather. And the reason why is I don't have a huge selection of any one thing.
Right.
Where I get how it works for Katie, because she does have a ton of t-shirts.
Yeah, now it's like I've got like 400 vintage t-shirts, so it's really easy. Somebody sees that thing that says, hey, buy one, get one 50% off, then they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to check out all these other vintage t-shirts. So very, very cool. All right, next one for you.
So this is just, a lot of people have said that silver tab jeans don't sell anymore. And I will tell you, I still pick them up and I still sell them. I probably sell a couple pairs a month for $60 and up. And I'm never paying more than $10, although the thrifts have caught on to this brand. So they do tend to price them a little higher than they probably should for, just a pair of jeans. But I sold these for $60. I know I didn't pay $10 for them.
And what is it? It's the loose and the baggy.
Loose and baggy are the 2 most desirable.
I'll say baggy right here.
There's so many different types of silver tab, labels and things like that. But loose and baggy, they still sell. I wouldn't sell them for any less than $60. Hang on to them. Bigger sizes are better. Of course, anything, 34, 36, 38, 40, those are much bigger sizes and better sizes. Anything smaller than a 34 will probably sit there for a while, because there's not a whole heck of a lot of skinny men.
Yeah, but you know what? I have seen, like, I have a friend who she just had to put a picture up on Facebook of herself wearing, she's like, oh, I got these silver tabs. I thrifted them. And they looked amazing on her. And it was very much in that cool style of like what you've been talking about, like going forward with the 90s, like the flannel shirt and the blue jeans, kind of, they're a little bit baggy, but fit really well around the waist.
They fit around the waist, a little baggy in the butt and thighs, and you roll the legs, or you peg the legs, and you're wearing them with your Docs or your Converse, and
yeah,
it's back. Grunge is back. 90s grunge is back. Flannels and wife beaters and t-shirts.
Yep.
With the flannel shirt over them.
Very cool.
I'm loving that look myself. I loved it in the 90s, and I'm real excited that it's coming back, because you will be seeing me in some of that stuff. I love it.
Oh, yeah, guys. She's been picking up the flannels. She's like going to take it old school Seattle style. All right, my next one. So I just showed this. Was it last week or the week before? It was really recently. I think it was the week before. And we were talking about how some brands it's like they're kind of past their time, but depending on what the style is. I got this.
Did you show this on Sunday that you sold it already?
Did I show it? I don't think I did. I thought I sold it later in the day.
No, I think you showed this last Sunday's haul. Pretty sure.
Ever. How do you know?
Pretty sure. Because I pay attention. Christiane, I'm not a fan of grunge either. I'm a big 80s hairband fan, so I'm not a fan of the music, but I am a fan of the clothing style.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bully Vicky, but I did sell it for $50, so there.
Yeah, I do think you. Sorry.
All right.
I think she showed that.
Christiane says that she thinks I showed that I picked it up. Well, anyway, I sold it for $50. I paid like less than $10 for it. I think it sold Sunday night, so I think I had showed it in my haul, and then it sold like that night, but I could be wrong.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
Anyway,
too. Sorry.
Next one. Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I'm going to credit this one to our friend Glenda. I don't think she's in the chat. Sometimes she is. Glenda Wiggins. So she actually pointed me out to these. We went thrifting together a couple of weeks ago. Katie and myself and Glenda, and we had a nice lunch, and then we went thrifting. So I picked these up for $4, and I flipped them and sold them for the asking price that you see there for $59.95, and they were listed for maybe a week. I ignore Skechers. 99.9% of the time, I don't look at Skechers because it's just a really cheap mid-level brand, not even mid-level, low mid-level brand. And there's so much of them, they just don't have much of a resale value. It's not worth it for me.
But they seem to be selling a lot more now.
I don't know what it is, because maybe Skechers were real big in the 90s, so maybe that's part of it. So I picked these up. I paid about $4 for them, and I sold them for $60. And they fit in a padded mailer, believe it or not, because they weren't very long, even though they're big.
Christine says I'm gonna wear my shape ups with my high-waisted mom jeans.
Dude, I think so.
There you go.
So apparently the shape up shoes are still good sellers. I did not know that. So this was something that Glenda told me about. She's like, oh, here, grab these. I was like, all right, fine. And they were so cheap. So now I'm gonna keep an eye out for them more often.
Yeah. Cheryl Hinton says, Ed Hart. I want to say really quick, going back to this in case I didn't cover this last week. This is one of those brands that's not, for the most part, I don't pick up any Ed Hardy stuff. No t-shirts, nothing. It used to be like a higher priced brand, lots of embroidery, blinged out. I grabbed this because of the style it was, this kind of track jacket, and I saw that it did have a decent amount of solds. And so I was able to sell it for, Vicky was not so sure that it would sell, but it sold pretty quickly. All right, Padiddles wants to know, do you add best offer on all listings? I have best offer on everything. Vicky, I don't think has best offer on everything.
Almost everything.
But you didn't used to, so it's kind of.
I didn't used to, and I don't know why this doesn't show that I had best offer on it, but I always.
Because it's not an active listing anymore.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't show it anymore. Okay, but I do. I always have best offer.
Yeah. I price all my stuff to take into account best offer. I just personally, I like to have that option for, now I get like, if you're selling lower price stuff, you may not want to, you may not have any room for it, but I do. Okay, so this one's Jekyll and Hyde musical thriller t-shirt. Now this t-shirt, I had thrifted this. I think I paid $1 or $2 for it. It's this cool vintage 90s like embroidered t-shirt. And when I did my research, there was another t-shirt. It wasn't the same one, but it was the same graphic. It was from the same time period. And the seller was selling it, I thought, for way too cheap. And so sometimes what I'll do when I'm going to list something, if there's like one other item that's really similar to it or the same thing, and I think it's priced too low, a lot of times I'll go ahead and buy it myself, not only so I can resell it, but also just to take it off the market so that then mine is the only one. And so I bought this other t-shirt. I think I only paid like $15 at most for it, which normally I wouldn't pay that much for a t-shirt, but I bought it to get it out of there. I actually ended up selling the other one for like $30, which isn't a huge turnaround, but I sold it for $30 to somebody in Australia. So they paid for shipping, plus I made a little bit off the shipping. So it actually was a great sale. And then I sold this one for $43.19. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more later when we're talking about what we sourced this last week about that kind of method of like taking stuff off the market, reselling it yourself, because there's something else that I got this week. All right, next for you.
Question. So I saw the $40 million lawsuit on the Skechers tone-up shoes, shape-ups, tone-ups. I don't know what, I did hear about that. I think it was because they were saying it would tone stuff up, and realistically, the reality is that they didn't do crap.
They didn't do anything other than just wearing a pair of shoes that look ridiculous.
Class action lawsuit, I mean, they still sell them. I think they sell them under certain styles, but no, you're not restricted from selling anything that had a lawsuit against it. You are restricted from selling anything that may have had a recall. And there's a huge list that there's no way anybody could ever memorize, but there's been no recall on these, so you can still sell them.
Yeah, because it's not that they were like hurting anybody. It was more like they were claiming that it
was toning your body, and that's not
like somehow you were getting this extra workout, and they were considered hazardous to wear.
Probably. I don't know if you ever tried to wear those things. They're really uncomfortable, but they do still sell.
Maybe hazardous to your self-respect.
Yeah, they're.
Keelan Kisses says that they wore them and loved them. All right, next for you.
So I've already sold one set of these. This was actually in my haul a few months ago. I picked up this for a huge lot of vintage Franciscan wear, which is fairly common, but this particular pattern is uncommon. So I kind of broke it down into several different lots. One of them sold while I was gone. Katie had to ship plates like this. It was horrible. But this is just to show I just sold another set of plates. They sold for $100. They even have a little bit of, these have two little condition issues. There's some, in the photos, you can see little flea bites, as we call them, and they paid for full price $100. These shipped to California, so they didn't cost me that much to ship. I think they were like $8 to ship.
Nice. I think the last set I sent to California too. You're really
so
lucky.
I've sold. I've made $200, and these did sell for actually $109. So I've made over $200 off of these, and I still have several lots to go that I know are going to start selling now as we get into China season. People go and they pick up their, they look up their patterns because they find out something is broken or missing, and they're trying to complete things for the holidays when they entertain. Happens all the time, both for gifts and for, you know, just to put out, you know, make the table look nice for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holiday. So.
All right, so my last thing I sold, this is an Etsy sale, and this is actually something, I think I showed it in the haul. I can't remember if I did or didn't, because it's just kind of like, it's relatively boring, but it's just this black hoodie, a pullover hoodie, but it's Russell Athletic, made in the USA, vintage. It was faded. It had, you can't see it in pictures on this, but it had like a couple of wear spots, like kind of half holes going through it. And I sold it for $35.99. It says plus shipping, but I do free shipping on Etsy. So I sold for $35.99. And if you remember last week's haul, I showed, I had bought, I think 5 Russell Athletic vintage sweatshirts that were dead stock that still had their tags on them. And I said that I'd probably be selling them for around $30 each. And so you see this brand does sell. So I was pretty excited about it. All right, I guess I'll stop and share. Pretty excited about it. Oh, do you guys remember that Saved by the Bell episode where Jessie Spano gets addicted to caffeine pills and because she's trying to study and everything, and she's like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm just so scared. So, you know.
No, I don't remember your after school special.
Well, initially, so here's a fun fact, guys. Here's a fun Saved by the Bell fact. Initially, she was supposed to actually be taking like speed or something like that. Like it was supposed to be something a little more serious. And then they decided that that wouldn't be, it was too much for,
it was too much for Saturday morning.
It was too much for like a kid's show or like, you know, a young adult show. And so they changed it to just that she was taking caffeine pills. But then it was a little bit weird because like, okay, you're having like this whole like drug addiction issue around caffeine pills and it's like ruining your life. And it's just, it was a bit much, in the words of my grandma, Donna Stapleton. A bit much.
A bit much.
Bit much. Thrifty Kitty says, I totally remember that episode, crying and singing at the same time.
I hope the mouths aren't behind, Treasure, because we even upgraded our uploading speed so this doesn't happen.
Yeah. I hope it's all right. You might want to try.
We said
they think it caught up. Okay. Yeah. If you ever have problems with like sound or something, you know, just like ask in the chat, because then people will be like, it's happening to me too, or it might just be you and you can just reload it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so those are the highlights of what we sold. Now let's go ahead and get into our haul. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah. What do you got?
It's past time.
What you got? What you got?
Well, I got some real different things this week, actually. So I've got a few cool things. So I picked up this old school iPod.
Let's go back in time, bitches.
30 gigabyte, like it's 3rd generation iPod. I got to double check that based on the serial, but I paid $2 for it. So I don't know if it works.
Had one of these.
I did not, since I've never owned an iPod in my life. So I'm just going to try and test it out and see if it works and powers up and all that kind of stuff. What up, Wade? Wade's here.
Woo-hoo.
What up?
Treasure Hustlers had a Nano.
Yeah, I've never had an iPod. I still don't. I'm so old school. I have thousands of CDs still. I still actually buy CDs occasionally, but
I bet Wade probably had one.
Anyway, so if this works and I make sure that it works, I'll probably sell it for, I don't know, like $60 around there, 60, $70. I paid $2.
Yeah.
So I picked these up at a thrift store. I paid $1 whole. So these are OG Adidas Original Stan Smith. These are of the first generation. So I looked these up real quick because, again, you can look up Adidas by the art number, which is inside the tag, on the tag. And these sell, this is a good size. I'm going to clean them up a little. They're a little bit grungy, but they're in good shape. I'm going to sell these for about $70. So that was a good pickup.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then let's see here. This other thing that I picked up, again, we went to a garage sale that a friend of mine has. My friend is a picker. So the thing is that he's a real good picker.
Whenever I hear picker, I always think,
but he doesn't sell online. So when he gets really good stuff to sell online, he usually has me sell it for him, and we have a 50-50 arrangement. But only if the stuff's over $100. If it's under 100, he tries to flip it himself locally, and he does pretty well with that. But then he also does garage sales, and I'm cool with doing garage sales because when I go to his garage sales, I get really good crap for cheap. So I paid $5 whole for this, which is a just like a cassette case. So the case itself, I'm probably going to sell for about $25. But inside this case is all Teddy Ruxpin cassettes.
Wait,
dozens of them.
How did I not see this?
I don't know. You didn't see me grab it. So I have dozens of Teddy Ruxpin cassettes.
Are they the actual cassettes?
Yes, and some of them are like read-along adventure cassettes. I have Star Wars read-along adventures. These things sell really well. They don't have the books, unfortunately, but they sell really well by themselves if you just lot them up. The Teddy Ruxpin ones don't always come with them. So
that is awesome.
Christian, what's in the box? Yeah, so I have about 50 in here, and then there's something else on the bottom that I have not quite figured out what it is yet. I think it's more. Oh, it's double layered. Yeah, I have 100 of them that I bought for $5. So anyway,
I'm in the
can
chat.
you like stop multitasking?
Well, I'm in the chat harassing Wade and
but
telling.
now I can't see the screen to see what I'm like showing. Stop it.
I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna put it right over. I'm gonna
Stop. Cut it out.
I'm gonna put it right over here.
All right, so your turn. You can talk about some things. So anyway, that $5, the case alone is going to be about $25 because vintage cassette cases do sell well. Maybe even a little more. I didn't look it up, but I'm assuming I know I'm going to price it at minimum $25. I don't really know what it's worth, but I have about 100 of the read-along cassettes and Teddy Ruxpin cassettes. So I'm going to lop those up. And
how much do you think?
Well, Teddy Ruxpin cassettes, 10 of them sell for about $65.
So when you opened that case, was it exactly the same as that scene in Pulp Fiction when they opened the case? And like the
not
gold,
exactly.
Was it a little bit?
No.
Yeah, like the gold light, like
yeah.
No,
but I did see that there. I did see Teddy Ruxpin cassettes, and when he told me $5, I didn't even bother to look them up.
And how many are in there?
About 100.
So you're thinking you can make like $600 off of just the tapes?
Maybe not that much, but I'm thinking between $400 and $500 off of that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Once I start lotting them up, I didn't realize that there were 2 layers. I thought it was only 1 layer, and I just realized it was 2 layers just now. So
you're like keeping all composed, but inside you're like, yeah. Is that what you did?
No.
You're like. You were like that?
I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that.
I feel like you should have. That's exciting.
But yeah.
Sometimes I'm in my own little world and I don't notice things that are happening around me. I had no idea that you had this whole thing of tapes. You said you got that from the garage sale?
Yeah, I got it from my friend Jay's garage sale.
That was a good little garage sale too. So that's funny because what I have on top is what I got at the garage sale. Which I would have probably purchased if she hadn't, but yeah, I let her go for the clothes because I knew that was all she cared about. Yeah, anytime we go to a garage sale, like I make a beeline for the clothing. Anyway, so I got 2 different leather motorcycle jackets. Now these jackets, they aren't like ones from the 50s that I'm gonna be able to sell for hundreds of dollars, but I should be able to get, I would say, at least $100 for each of them.
Oh yeah, they're good heavy ones.
Yeah, they're good heavy ones. They're not super old. I think they might be like 90s. they're nice, and they're like that old school, like classic, you know, Rebel Without a Cause style motorcycle jacket.
Yep.
I got 2 of them. He sold them to me for $25 a piece, which I think is entirely reasonable. So
Christiane says, "Happy sales to you."
Exactly.
See, I just sang again. It's almost like happy trails, happy sales.
Yep. So anyway, this one's Barney's leather. I think that's pretty, and they're nice and like worn in, which I think for a motorcycle jacket, if you want to be legit, and be cool, you need to have kind of like a broken in leather jacket.
Yeah. So otherwise, you just look like the guy that rides his bike 3 times a year.
Yeah, like you're an accountant.
Works at a bank during the week.
You're like, hey guys,
get the haircut.
Hey guys, want to go?
I got my BMW motorcycle.
Want to go ride motorcycles together?
Yeah. No.
Somebody asked what size, Mary Sullivan.
It's on the small side.
This one is 52. This one's not. It's not actually that small.
Actually, no, it's not.
That was a size 52.
It looks smaller than it
does. And then
I've got, it's that one that's small.
Maybe I've got this one right here. This one's a Baja California. This one is a size 44. Again, this one I put some leather conditioner on it, so it's looking pretty good.
No, Lorna did not miss my awesome find. I'm going to show my favorite thing toward the end of the show.
Yeah. So I got both of those. Like I said, $25 should turn into $100 each. So Allison, you just made Allison cry because she has a BMW bike and she's really sad about it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That you just mocked her.
I will. I will mock anybody that owns a motorcycle that is not a Harley, because otherwise they're just. Sorry. Anyway.
Whatever.
Mary Sullivan says she may have to buy that
bikes
one,
that are cool. There's other bikes that are cool.
I know, father and son jackets, or I think that the smaller one is more like, I think a woman wore it, even though it's not necessarily a woman's jacket. I think a smaller size. That brand, that type of like crossover with the, you know, that original motorcycle style fits well. So
yeah. Mary, send me a message and I will give you the actual measurements so you can make sure.
Wade's saying check your phone.
What?
Does that mean that there is a bid? See, she said she sold it to a banker. See? I rest my case, Allison. Is there a bid?
There's a new bid! There's a new bid! You guys, there's a new bid!
Thanks, Wade.
There's been a new bid for $99.99 for the Denver Broncos sweatshirt. Now, you guys, you got an hour if you want to outbid Wade.
Oh, Teresa Cox is in there under her real name.
What? Where? Oh, I see.
Because she doesn't have a wrench next to her name.
She said smash that like button at Rake Promise. She's making fun of Steve. She's playing the Steve part.
Raken's in here, actually.
Is he?
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Smash it. Smash it. So anyway, so Wade just bid on that. I don't know. Maybe Steve Raken wants to, let me go ahead and get that link for him real quick. I'm thinking maybe Steve wants to outbid him and steal that.
We need to stop with this.
Shh. Shh. Hush up. Hush up now. Hush up now.
Tickle that like
now
button.
Here's the thing. So now it's a done deal, guys. It's a done deal. Vicky did say if I sold it for $100 that she would do a super chat song. Now, it's not going to happen until next week's show.
I have to rehearse.
She seriously is going to do an old school 80s rap song, but with super chat lyrics. And she is going to do that, but she needs a week to like get it together.
I need to
practice. She needs to prep.
She's more off the cuff than I am, but I am actually quite funny when I want to be. I'm just not usually as outgoing as she is on, you know, on the YouTubles.
All I know is that unless somebody else wins that sweatshirt, if Wade is the one that gets it and I send it to him, I do expect to see.
Oh, I want to see pictures.
It's the pictures. That better be on Instagram. I want to see him do a show wearing it. You might have to wait till it's a little cooler.
If it actually sells to someone we know, they have to do that. So
if it goes for more, what happens if it goes for more? I don't know. There might be some dancing involved, maybe some popping, locking. Maybe we'll lay down some cardboard and I'll do some of my breakdancing moves.
There will be no popping.
I have exactly one breakdancing move. You're not gonna do the robot?
I can do a little shopping cart. No.
What is that? You shopping?
You know another one?
You look at the ingredients, or you just blindly throw them into your cart?
I guess.
You gotta look at like the nutritional value first. Because
what
if you like pull it off the shelf and then you're like, oh no, you gotta put that back. Too much sodium, guys. Too much sodium.
Splits. What do you really? Like I couldn't do a split when I was 20. You think I can do one at 43 and fat? It's not happening.
You were a cheerleader. Anyway, do you have? Let me do a couple more. So I have some sweatshirts.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some of my stuff while you're talking.
Oh, Treasure Hustler says he'll do the Kiki dance. The Kiki dance wearing the sweatshirt. Okay, so I've had some cool sweatshirts. I love this one. I love finding vintage sweatshirts. They're almost as fun as t-shirts. This one is Hanes, made in the U.S. This is probably 80s, sometimes early 90s, but I believe this is 80s. And this is a sweet Trinity River steelhead shirt. Some fisherman is gonna love this sweatshirt. I got it for, I already took all the tags off because I already did pictures on these, but I didn't pay more than a few bucks. This next one, now this one I paid up a little bit for. For a sweatshirt, I paid like $8 for it. That's kind of a lot. And I kind of did it, it's a little bit risky because there's no comps, but this is a Jimmy V homage sweatshirt. So Jimmy V, for anyone that doesn't know, which I didn't know when I grabbed it, but I picked it up. It felt like a really nice quality sweatshirt. It felt like something special. I'm like, it's really interesting. I looked it up. I don't know much about sports. Jimmy V was like a coach back in, I think he died like in the 90s, but he was a really well-known coach that a lot of people loved. And it says, laugh, think, cry. And I guess he had some sort of quote that that was attributed to him along those lines. And so I'm kind of banking on there's somebody out there who's going to be like a huge sports nut that love Jimmy B that will be willing to pay a decent amount. I'm going to try to get like $60 for this baby. So I'm hoping.
Key lime kisses. That is an awesome idea. I think you should send those lyrics to me through Facebook or Instagram or send them to Katie because I think we could definitely turn that into a super chat song.
The time of my life.
Already ruining it.
And I never felt this way. I've already sang that song in this on this show.
Not as super chat.
I know. You know, Teresa's really down with the.
I love Dirty Dancing, so I can recite that entire movie. Yeah. It's one of my favorite movies in the world. And then I can run and jump into Katie's arms. All right, let's be realistic because then we would just both fall and break something.
Pretty much.
Oh my god. All right. So, are you still going? Am I still going? What are you doing?
I was going to show a couple more sweatshirts.
All right, go for it.
Yelling at me. One more sweatshirt. Okay, I posted this on Instagram.
30 past 3 o'clock. We got at least 30 minutes to go.
There are 140 people watching. Guys, do you want us to turn this off right now and stop our haul? Do you want us to leave? Do you want us to shut it down? Tell us if you want us to shut it down. Or if you want us to keep going, let's get, we're at 56 likes. Let's get 75 thumbs up and we will keep going. Let's get that up to 75. 75.
Hip flipping mama. I'm all about karaoke. Ask Katie. We did a private karaoke room for my birthday. I love to sing. Yeah, I just don't sing off the cuff like Katie does.
Yeah. So next up
and Cheryl's saying, no, don't ruin my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie too. I won't totally ruin it.
Next up on my bizarre, ugly sweatshirt tour. So LRG, this is Lifted Research Group. Now this is kind of like a low mid-level streetwear brand. It was more popular, I think, like a few years ago, kind of like, you know, Diamond Company or whatever that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it doesn't, so I don't generally pick it up very often.
I pick it up when it's track jackets. Those still sell well.
Yeah. And I picked up t-shirts before, but they have to have like interesting designs on them. This sweatshirt, I do not understand what's happening with this sweatshirt.
It's dirty.
Okay.
And we've got dirty. I mean,
we've got a dude fishing while an owl appears to be pooping on his head. We've got a bear reading a book. We've got Bigfoot walking on through.
I think the bear reading the book is a reference to does a bear shit in the woods.
Maybe so.
He's reading a magazine.
We've got the St. Bernard drinking his booze. We've got Paul Bunyan, and there appears to be a deer that may be peeing or something out of its butt onto his head. There is another guy who's offering a bong to Paul Bunyan, I believe. Mm-hmm. There also are
Sasquatch.
Well, that's Bigfoot.
Oh yeah.
There also, where are the beavers at? There are a couple.
There's some beavers doing something nasty.
There are a couple. No, the beavers are making sweet, sweet love. Hold on, I gotta find the beavers. Where are the beavers at?
I don't know.
No, the beavers are good. I like the. Oh, here we go. I like the beavers because the beaver. One of them is wearing a raccoon hat.
Davy Crockett raccoon hat.
Yeah. So, guys, this is like great outdoors, like vintage, almost like those vintage 50s outdoor magazines or whatever. Like it has that kind of design to it, except it's really inappropriate. It's highly inappropriate. So
can we add some shots of your favorite liquor every 2 minutes till you loosen up a little? You two are hilarious. You want to see us more loose than we already are? That would be ridiculous. First of all, shots all the time. I don't even know how to do that.
Can we talk about how Sir Thrifts a Lot is a great name?
It is actually a really good name.
I like it. Okay, so yeah, Mary Silva says, how do you even make up a title for that? I don't even know, but it is. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. I love it. All right, go ahead.
All right, so I did pick up one thing that is a Katie thing that she would have picked up. So I went thrifting on Thursday without her. We went without each other, and I wanted to hit one of the savers so I could look for some menswear because I haven't picked up menswear very often lately, because when we go together, obviously I let her go to the men's department and I look for hard goods or women's clothes just because all she looks for is men's. So anywho, so I picked this up. I paid about $9 for it. It is a vintage Miami Dolphins half zip fleece jacket. It's not super vintage, but it's definitely like 90s, early 2000s. I'm guessing closer to the 90s. So I'm going to sell this for about 40, maybe 50. It's a big size. So that was kind of cool. The other thing that I picked up was not one, not two, not three, not even four. I picked up 5 Robert Graham shirts, and I did pay up a little bit for them. I paid $15 a piece, but one of them is new with tags. They are the typical flip cuff, with the accenting cuff and collar. So I picked them up. They were $15 a piece. One of them is new with tags. The one that's new with tags is $228 retail. I'll probably sell that one for about $100 or so. The other 4 I'm gonna sell for $65 and flip them fast. I know I could probably get a little more if I hold out for them. Robert Graham is one of those styles that has a little bit jump the shark. It used to be easy. You could get $100 a shirt. But they're all extra large, and 15 to 60 or 65 is a pretty easy, quick flip for me. So I am going to, Katie just got it in the face. Touch her with my thrifted stuff. Anyway, so $15 a piece. I got 5 of them. I'll turn them into, $100 for one and $65 for the others. So I don't generally buy men's dress shirts. They're kind of boring, but certain.
Sir Thrifts a Lot. I'm assuming you're a dude just because it's Sir Thrifts a Lot. I guess you could be a girl. But it says, I need to change it to Sir Lists a Lot. My money pile, death pile is huge. So I think that's pretty funny. And,
again, like I said, Robert Graham is one of those. It started to jump a little bit. You're not quite going to get what you got for them a year ago or 2 years ago. The fashion is starting to go out. It does depend on where you live. East Coast, they're still pretty in style. This coast, they're very passé. So it just depends on where your buyer is from.
Yeah.
I have a lot of East Coast people that have expressed interest. And then I also, because I did a little quick thing on Instagram, but I also have some friends that are in the entertainment business and a couple of musician friends that actually might be interested. So
Ron Dazzle, send me, you got my email address. Just email me your store name, like a link to your store or your eBay username. And then I will pass it on to Vicky, and we'll put you on the list for potentially getting a store review.
Yeah, I think it just for whatever reason, it's like anything else. Fashion goes West Coast to East Coast, so the Robert Graham thing is still good there. It started to be very much passé in the last year or so. So the prices have dropped a little bit because I think that a good portion of our sales go to the West Coast that's more heavily populated, I should say. So I think that was what is driving the prices down a little bit.
Yeah.
That and the outlet stores. But even the outlet stores, they sell them for over $100 new. So
Karen's asking about Robert Graham ankle boots. Do those even sell at all? I'm
actually not as familiar with Robert Graham as far as footwear. I know about Wayne Robert boots that used to sell well that are, again, that same type of fashion. So we'll see. Not entirely sure about that. I would look up the comps on those.
Yeah, for sure. All right. How much stuff do you have left?
I have a few things left. So do you?
Oh, yeah. I have a bunch.
I'll do one hard good thing, and then we can go to the other stuff. So we've said this before, I think. I always pick up board games. I love board games, and not all of them have value, and they're especially expensive to ship across the country. So if you do calculated shipping on board games, your shipping is going to look too high for the most part. So I do build it into my pricing and just know that I'm going to eat quite a bit if it goes to the opposite coast. So that's how I handle that. But I picked up this Monopoly game. It's a round Monopoly Dodgers game. A lot of the Monopoly specialty games can sell for quite a bit. This particular one, it's complete. It's got some box damage because the jerks at Savers taped it all the way around. But it is complete, and it's going to sell for about $65. And I paid, what did I pay for it? $3.99, I believe. So that was kind of a cool one. Look for the ones that are sports teams.
Oh, it looks like Red Neckerson's Resales had a shirt that he sold just like mine, the Lifted Research Group. It looks like it was a polo shirt with Bigfoot. I'll have to check it out. I'll look it up. I will look it up. All right, so I did grab a couple of sweaters. Again, I don't a lot of times go into the sweater section, but sometimes I look at it. This is an Izod made in the USA. Now, not all Izod stuff is worth picking up, but a lot of like the older stuff, like made in the USA, is really good. And this is, in the words of Victoria, what would you call this?
Crispy.
It's crispy. Look at this. It's a really nice, heavy cable knit. I don't know if you can see like how bright yellow it is. It's really, really nice condition with the Izod embroidered there. It's a lot of jostling going on.
Sorry, jostling.
But this is a made in the US. Now, it's not super old. I would guess this is probably 90s, maybe 80s. But it's a really nice sweater, and I should be able to sell that once we get into the fourth quarter. Oh, look at you looking a little fancy. Tip of the hat to you. Tip of the hat. Ridiculous. All right, and then we're going to talk about this.
I don't know. You still have things to do on the list. Go ahead.
I feel like maybe people are a little bit distracted by this peacockery happening up here, whatever is happening.
No. Talk about your next thing, please.
Worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know why this is distracting you at all.
I don't know what Brenda's saying, but she wants to know if your game hole was damaged.
I'm sorry, what now? I'm not sure what that means.
I think maybe she mistyped something. Was your game something damaged? Yeah, she does kind of look like a skunk. Anyway, the other sweater that I have is it's a vintage Eddie Bauer and dead stock, new with tags. Look at this old school tag right there.
The yeah, around the zipper even.
Well, yeah, because it's like the little leather pole, and this is a really heavy, nice sweater. This is like, what would you say? Is that 80s, 90s? That tag?
It might be 1980. That might stand for 1980. Yep, 80 in a couple places. I would say that's 80s.
And and this is definitely like the old label with the little mountains on it and stuff. But yeah, I picked this up. Super, super, super nice. But both these sweaters, I feel like the Izod one, maybe 40, 50. This one I'm hoping more like 60. It's just, we'll see. I don't know. That's
yeah, I paid $3.99 for that Dodgers game, and it's going to sell for about 65 or 70.
Kara Cooper likes my new word, peacockery.
Peacockery.
So let's get to it, because nobody's going to pay attention to what I have to say when you've got that ridiculous thing on your head.
So this is the kind of stuff that I used to find in New England that I never find out here. This came from my garage sale friend as well. This is a vintage Knights of Columbus ceremonial hat. So this is feathers. It is ostrich feathers, and it is velvet, and it has
soft.
It's soft. It's not antique. These do go back very far. I have sold antique ones from the 1800s. This one is not quite as old. You can tell by the interior because it has the plastic covering the manufacturer there, but it is in excellent condition. These ceremonial hats are usually kept in really great cases. This was kept in a case. It was not appropriate for the hat, but it was kept in a case. So it's in great shape. It's not missing feathers. It's not dirty and dingy and gross. The velour is not a mess. So this one's probably not that old. I'm going to guess this one's probably from the 60s or 70s. But I'm going to sell this for about $100. I paid 10. It's a ceremonial Knights of Columbus hat. Usually when you find them with the sword, with the sashes, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to pay 10, sell it for 100. I was excited about that. Same garage sale. This is a vintage, this is from the probably 30s or 40s, but this is a vintage American Legion officer's jacket. It's a wool jacket.
From Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin. But the little patches make it worth something. It has the original buttons, which are pretty cool looking. And this is another thing. I paid $5 for this, and I'll probably sell this for $75 to $100.
That is awesome. I love it.
Your turn.
Treasure Hustlers said they just tried to join the boss group, and you are in. I just added you. I just did some multitasking. I added you to the group.
All right, cool.
You are in the group.
Yeah, if you have an account where you don't have any friends, or you started an account just because you watch us and you wanted to get into the group, just shoot one of us a message, because a lot of times that's how spammers with their fake accounts, you know, from like Indonesia and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of fake accounts that like to get into groups, and then they spam the groups with like marketings and sales crap. So if your account looks a little sketchy, where it's like you don't have that you show when you have any friends, or it shows that you just created an account, we might automatically decline you because it doesn't look like a real person. So we do try to keep the spammers out.
Yeah.
So if that happened,
absolutely.
Let us know.
For sure. All right. So I got a bunch of t-shirts. Let me tell you guys, I cannot say enough how much I love Savers, because I've said this before. They put so much stuff out every single day. Last Thursday, when we went to all the Savers with Lorna, you know, I got a ton of t-shirts, and then the next day they had their 99-cent t-shirt sale. I mean, I got all the ones that I thought were worth getting. There wasn't anything there that I really thought was worth coming back for the 99-cent sale, but they had the 99-cent sale, so I'm sure they blew out a ton of t-shirts. So then I went back this last Thursday. I went to 5 of the 6 Savers. I got so many t-shirts. And then we went on Friday to the place you had just been to the day before, because I wanted to get the t-shirts there. You hadn't looked at the t-shirts. I ended up buying 36 t-shirts. And this is after they had the 99-cent sale, because they had put out so much good stuff. Because every single day you found a bunch of stuff. You were there the day before and you spent like 2 hours.
The Dodgers game was a new find, and I had been at the same one before. So Teresa is taking credit for adding them to the group, because she just cleared the queue and went through it.
Well, I hit it too.
So apparently added at the same time. I don't have my phone up here, so I'm not doing it.
Says right here. I can't. It says added just now. Be my witness. Be my witness.
Yeah, Sarah Jackie added just now.
Okay. So anyway, so my point is, with Savers, it's like they're constantly putting stuff out. So I found a bunch of great t-shirts. I have like a whole stack of them here. I'm going to try to go through them relatively quickly and maybe not show all of them to you. But you remember that one t-shirt that I found that was like the weird, like,
electricity outage,
it was like
blackout,
it was like
something.
It was like
scheduled
a power
outage.
station outage.
And
I sold that one.
And you showed it in your solds too, because
I sold it within a week.
$35.
So here's another one, but this is the spring diesel outage of '92, and it says, "Duh, which way did we go?" Guys, like, what is up with these outages that they're like, let's make a t-shirt about it? I don't get it. There's no tag on this, but clearly it's from '92. And to add to the legitimacy of the age, it does have the single stitch. So I know this is legit vintage. I love it. I love these kinds of shirts.
Like, which way do we go, George? Which way do we go?
Pretty much. And then I got this cool billfish tournament, which a billfish, it's like a marlin fish. Look at that awesome graphic on the back of it. This one, I don't think it has a date on it, but it is, again, this is like
90s.
No, this is more 80s. Yeah, this is 80s. This tag does go into the early 90s, but more likely it's going to be like mid-late 80s. Love it. Love it. And then I found this one is a qualifying rally, 1993. This is like some horsey action right here. And let me tell you, horse stuff sells great. So again, this is from the 90s. So you can see.
You buy and sell the weirdest t-shirts. She really does, though. She sells them. Like, I wouldn't even look at this crap.
So let me show you. Oh, I was super stoked to get this. So let me do a compare and contrast here really, really quick. So this is Hanes. This t-shirt's got the event date on it of 93. So this is a Hanes tag from 1993, right? And then this is the one that I showed previously, and that is more likely to be probably mid 80s. Yeah. Huh. So that's kind of how I've learned to like age things. Again, when I find ones that actually have dates on them, it gives me a better clue. This is the awesome t-shirt that I've actually found 2 of them, and one of them I'm sending to Hip Flippin' Mama. It is a Mike Tyson. It kind of looks like that Punch-Out game from the early 90s. It's kind of like pixelated. It's
he's
like
missing a tooth.
He's missing. Well, he's not missing a tooth. He's got like a big space between his teeth.
Well, in the picture, it looks like he's missing a tooth.
That's just the space between his teeth.
All right, whatever.
I don't think he's missing a tooth.
He always talks like he's missing a tooth.
Yeah, he's got a funny voice for sure. I got this t-shirt. This is not vintage, but this is a Blizzard Entertainment t-shirt. Blizzard is a video game,
World of Warcraft, and lots of other.
Yeah, it's a gaming company, and these sell really well. I haven't done any comps on these. I have no idea.
I don't even know what game that one's from.
I just know, yeah, I still have to do research. I just know it's a Blizzard t-shirt, and these do sell really well. I got this one that I posted last night in the Boss Facebook group.
You got a lot of shirts to go through. I'm going to make a potty break while
she's going to make a potty. Because seriously, I just want to show you how awesome it is. So this t-shirt, if you don't know, this is a fictional high school. And you can see, so let's say you didn't recognize this as being from a television show. You can see if you look up close, it actually says 1998 Fox. So there's a clue right there that this is from some sort of movie or television show. You go, you look it up, bam, this is from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the television show. So this is a vintage 1998 t-shirt. Haven't looked at any comps, but I would imagine it's got a huge cult following, that it probably will sell really well. Then I've got Asleep at the Wheel. This is a band. This is a vintage t-shirt. It says Boogie Back to Texas. This is a Fruit of the Loom. This is what their tags look like from the 90s. This is made in the USA, single stitch, nice big size. Haven't looked up any comps on that either. Vintage, made in the US, Asics, single stitch t-shirt. Let's see. I've got, this says Augsburg Otters. I don't know if that's like a school or what it is. Pretty boring, right? Like, yeah, not a big deal. Until you turn it around and there's an awesome otter on the back of it. See, I always buy stuff like this because I'm like, there's somebody out there who's like obsessed with otters and they're going to love this t-shirt. Like, I don't know, maybe Jenna Marbles is going to be like, I want that otter t-shirt because she loves otters.
I don't watch
her and Julian are all about otters. I've got, oh, you guys. So check it out. Thursday, I go to 5 different Savers. The 5th one is one on Charleston. It's called, people call it Crazy Town. It's a little bit crazy there
because it's in the crazy ghetto.
Yeah, section. they're the ones that like they completely get rid of their jacket section.
They have a guard at the door at Savers.
So they completely get rid of their jackets and their sweatshirts during the summertime. So it's a little sad. It was the last place I was going to. I've been out all day. I kind of debated whether or not to go. I get there. The only thing I'm going to look at is the t-shirts. I looked through all the t-shirts. I found one that was like, okay, it was decent. I got it, a vintage t-shirt. I get to the last section of the last row, and I find this t-shirt. And again, it was like the heavens opened up and sang down upon me. Mm-hmm. Because first of all, I saw this tag, Screen Stars. Woo! Now, if you guys know anything about vintage t-shirts,
that's kind of the holy grail of vintage t-shirts.
I mean, usually. Okay. Alone, Screen Stars does not mean anything. It's the same thing with the single stitch. Alone, the only thing it means is that it's a vintage t-shirt.
But it's with
I tend to find but it was just a blank t-shirt that was used to, so it could have anything on it. So it's not, I just don't want people to go out and be like, oh my God, that Screen Stars t-shirt I sold for $60. Mm-hmm. Okay. But Screen Stars, guys, you ready for this? You ready for this? The Judds. Winona and Naomi, the Judds.
Tell me about
the good old days. Anyway, a guy was like, who clearly looked like he was probably looking for t-shirts to sell, was like in front of me going through t-shirts. He didn't want this shirt because he didn't know how magical it is. Super excited about the Judds. Vintage, true vintage Judds t-shirt. Sorry, guys. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. All right. Then I have this one. This is some sort of military Top Gun, cool fighter jets t-shirt, vintage 90s. I find that this military stuff sells really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I usually sell it pretty fast. Was it Top Gun, NAS, Fallon? I haven't looked anything up on this, but again, that's super awesome. Then I've got this really cool 90s Southwestern kind of design, sort of tie-dye.
We're going too long. We lost about 20 people.
What?
Too long. You're boring them with the t-shirts.
I wanted to show all the cool t-shirts, and that's only a few of them. Anyway, I found tons and tons of t-shirts. I priced them all at $29.99, $35.99. And unless I think that they're really special. Now that Judds t-shirt will definitely be priced higher. I'll probably price it at least $47.99.
Maybe more.
Maybe $59.99. I need to like look up comps. I don't know. But
I needed a potty break. I get it. I needed a potty break.
Yeah. Joni Kramer says never too long. Never too long.
We lost 20 people.
Whatever, because I got stuff to do.
Sorry.
Why are you always trying to put a limit?
Because we do try to keep it an hour or under because it gets
This show can does it get boring?
I think it must.
Hey guys, does it get boring?
I don't think
you
we're
bored?
boring.
Are you bored right now? Anyway, so yeah,
See, I got to pee. Red Nickerson. I had to pee too. That's why I left while she was on her diet.
What kind of redneck are you? Pee in a bottle
or a can. Ugh. I'm a girl. I can't do that.
Well, I know Red Nickerson is not a girl, so you can totally like.
It is dinner time on the East Coast too, so people that are like.
See, Treasure Hustler says no. Keep going.
All right. We actually have. I have two more things to talk about.
Okay.
So one of them, I'm going to do this now for because we've got our most of.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to lose any people. So
giveaway,
boss. Giveaway.
Wait, real quick. We're at 84 thumbs up. There's 117 people in here right now. Go up to 100. Let's do 100. We can do 100.
If we get 100, I'll do the giveaway. And here's the giveaway. It is going to be. I'm going to ask a question based on the show.
Mm-hmm. And we'll include a couple other things like a boss up pin. A couple of other little goodies. So,
some Pink Panther ears.
So yeah, we just need to get up to 100 thumbs up. There's 115 of you watching now. I'm sure 15 of you have not done a thumbs up yet. Leoman,
super chat.
Leoman loves to come in. See, here's the thing. We go for an hour and a half. I feel like Leoman likes to wait till the end of the show, and then it's like, boom, here's your super chat. Here's your super chat. Here's your super chat. Here's your super chat.
I knew you were gonna go.
Here's your super chat. Here's your super chat. Woo, woo, woo. Here's your super chat. Here's your super chat. Woo, woo, woo.
What the heck was that?
That was my special.
That was your interpretive super chat.
Hey, you know what? So Leo, I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, Leoman.
Lemon.
Well, it's Leomen. So Leoman, I swear I saw at some point you said you were in Vegas. Is that true?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think Leoman is in Vegas. So tell us, lay down the beats. Tell us while you're doing, here's a super chat. Here's a super chat. Woo, woo.
You are out of control.
I'm pretty sure Leoman's in the Vegas area. I could be wrong.
You could be.
Anyway, we're up to 92 thumbs up. We only need 8 more people to do it, and then
yes, from Vegas.
See, there you go. And then Victoria's going to do a sweet giveaway. Lorda, have you given a thumbs up? Because we need to get 8 more in order to do a giveaway. Do you have like a question that you're going to ask, or what's your thought?
I was going to ask a question. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we just need 8 more. But yeah, Leoman, you should email me. My email's down below in the description. Email me if you're not already in the Boss Facebook group. I don't know if you are, because Victoria is putting together a regular kind of
our local regular meetup group.
Yeah.
And I definitely need to get the local people so I can add you to it. So
yeah.
Okay, 5 more.
But yeah, we want to get as like complete a list as possible of all the people that are in our local area, so that when we're doing get-togethers and gatherings,
exactly, so we can get them out there to you guys. So
yeah, pretty much.
All right, 5 more people, and while we're waiting for the 5 more people to smash that like button or gently tap it or tickle it or lightly caress it.
See, I like doing like a gentle little.
That's inappropriate.
Only because you made it inappropriate.
Totally inappropriate. Anyway, so I picked up this really cool thing when I went to Savers on Thursday. It was, what was it, 50% off the whole day? Thursday? Yeah. It was 50% off the whole store, I think.
No.
50%
It
off.
was only off of t-shirts.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, this was 25% off. I got this really cool vintage stadium jacket. It's got this like faux fur lining and this gold and brown. It is. It's very crinkly. Sorry. But it's from St. Francis University. And I paid, this is probably from the 60s. It says 52, but that's probably the athlete's number that wore it. So Collegiate is the brand. Made in the USA. This is probably from the 60s, maybe early 70s, but my guess is 60s. And I paid 25% off of $7.49. I'll probably list it for about $75 or so. All right, do we hit on? Oh, we just hit 100.
We hit 100. Let's do this.
All right,
so we got some sort of question.
My question is, and it's going to be, so the very first person to answer this question that we see in chat, and I know that you may not be the first person that answers it, but unfortunately, it depends on how fast your internet is.
I'm watching like a hawk.
So my question is, my fancy schmancy hat.
Oh, do I know the answer to this?
Which fraternal organization did I say that this hat is for?
You better be watching, because I don't know if I know the answer to it. I might. Which fraternal organization is this ridiculous hat full of peacockery from?
So some of them, I mean, there were a couple different ones, but I did mention.
Is that right? What Barbara said?
Yep.
Barbara got it. Barbara Colson is the big winner. You get the boss mug. I feel like this is kind of like
the answer is Knights of Columbus, and Barbara was the first one. They do make the jacket was American Legion, so close.
Very, very cool. Yay!
All right, Barbara, you are the boss.
I don't know. Do you have Barbara's address?
I do not. Barbara, can you send me a message through Facebook with your address, please, and I will get it to you.
Very, very cool.
Yay! Barbara Colson, or Colson's Collectibles, is her group. Is her Facebook, her eBay store. Yeah. Yay, Barbara.
Rundazzle girl says Katie's school of peacockery.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, silly. All right, so I'm going to show my last thing, which was kind of the thing that Katie teased a little bit. We're back up to 100. Oh, wait, how did we go from 199? Oh, we had 2 downvotes.
No, that's not why though. You can't trust that, because it'll show different on different people's screens. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, so this was my find. So this was in the dolls. Usually in the dolls section, you're going to find a bunch of, crappy dolls that are made out of porcelain that are from the 90s and that are worthless and not even worth selling, all that kind of stuff. So this one, I knew by looking at this is a vintage pre-Cabbage Patch doll. So this is what's called a Little People doll. They're made by Xavier Roberts, still made in the Cabbage Patch Hospital, but it was before they called them Cabbage Patch dolls. So this is this face right here is fabric, and it's hand stitched, and then this is hand painted. These were all handmade. So this is a pretty tall one. This is about 24 inches and does not have bendable legs. The legs are like wire, so they're fixated or fixed legs. Original clothing, I believe, but the way that you can tell these is by their hand painted, but also they have this thumb. There's their hands, and then they have a big thumb. So one of the ways, and I'm going to be mooning you, first of all, it's an African-American doll. Vintage African-American dolls tend to do very well in the first place. But the other way that you can tell is this is actually hand signed. This is a double hand signed, which is pretty rare. So double hand signed by Xavier Roberts. It's not stamped, it's signed. And it has a label, it has a tag. It has a gold tag that tells you that it's a Little People.
Crazy.
So this one is from 1985, which is on the newer side. They were made from 78 to like 85 or 86. So I have not found anybody with any of them with a straight leg yet. But how did I know about it is just from, I've sold them before, I've found them before, but they're pretty rare when they're hand signed. So anyway, I paid $7, $8 for this thing, I think. And I'm going to list it in auction for, I think, $2.99 to start and see where it goes, because there are not a lot of them that are African American, and there are none that I have found with a straight leg. And I've been doing a lot of research. I know how to date it. I know what it is. I know it's authentic. I just don't know what it will go for. Some of them have gone as high as $1,700, and that's just in the last year or so. And some of them sell for the $200-$300 range. So I'm going to start it at the $200-$300 and see what happens.
Yeah.
The ones that go high tend to go high in auction.
So we generally don't do auctions. Auctions are a thing of the past. Like it used to be that it was all about auctions. But nowadays people want to buy stuff. They want to buy it now. They want to get it immediately. They don't want to wait for it. So if you put stuff in auction, you're most likely going to get less money for it than it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
The one time that auctions are really, really good is if you have a super rare item that you don't see anything that's exactly like it, that you know is highly collectible, that you know there's going to be potentially a lot of demand and potential for bidding wars. And so something like that, like what she has, is perfect for an auction. And then you're going to go like crazy and like in social media and make sure you get it out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet it and Instagram it and put it, on social media a little bit. Unfortunately, the collectors are usually in older age brackets. So the fact that I'm going to be doing a lot of social media with it may or may not help, but I'm going to try it anyway. I've sold they're the artisan dolls. I've sold the handmade one, the hand stitched ones, but these are before Cabbage Patch Kids actually existed. So Cabbage Patch Kids came out in actually 1983 and then they were being produced by Coleco. Xavier Roberts sold the brand to Coleco, and that's when the Cabbage Patch craze started, was 83 and 84. So that's when they had the plastic faces but
that one is actually from 85.
But that one's from 85, and that was the tail end. It was actually one of the last years that they made the little people, is what they were called. And that was when they were still handmade and hand signed. And that was just as I'm sure when Xavier Roberts was inundated. So there were only so many made, and the fact that it's double hand signed adds more value to it too. So anyway, so that's kind of cool.
All right. So we're like way over time.
Yeah, we are. Sorry, guys.
We had so much stuff to talk about, though. It's partially because we had like a bunch of things we wanted to do, like show off the beautiful sweatshirt, which let's see how much time we have left on this. It is down to 36 minutes. It looks like Wade's probably going to end up being the owner of that sweet sweatshirt.
Sorry, Wade.
Next week, this
no
one over
returns.
Here,
no takesy
this
backsy.
one over here is going to like bust out some sweet music. So you guys will have to come back next week because it's going to be quite the show.
And I want to tell you how my Cabbage Patch doll goes. Actually, I won't know yet because I'm going to probably try and list it tonight.
But we'll at least be able to say like where it's at that point. Erin says that she'll put it up at $350 for auction. But yeah, I think it's going to go for a lot more. It just depends.
We'll see.
We will see.
I'd be happy at an opening bid, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
If it doesn't sell in the first week, I may relist it. I may actually do 2 weeks on that because sometimes it takes that long to get enough eyeballs on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it sells for opening bid, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
$300
about it.
I wouldn't cry about it.
All right.
$100 out of $7 or $8. I'm okay with that.
Why are you getting so short?
I don't know. I slouched.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in and watching. We had a lot of fun with you today. I know we did kind of go on like extra long, but look, we've got like 130 people hanging out with us right now. Barbara, you're going to get your sweet mug. Everybody else who has won prizes over the last couple of weeks, this one over here is going to be sending those out to you. We really appreciate it. So join the Boss Facebook group if you haven't already. The link is down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Come follow us on Instagram. We are having so much fun on Instagram lately. Mm-hmm. I'm always putting up silly videos, if you can believe it.
Those of you that might be interested in a Boss Up and List live store review, please make sure that you get back to myself or Katie, message us. You can message Katie through the link that's right below, or you can find us through the boss group or find us on Instagram, whatever. Send me a message, send me your real name if it's through Instagram or even through this, send me your real name so that I can take a look at your store. And we're just going to pick somebody to work with on Wednesday. You have to be available to do it live, 11 a.m. on Wednesday. You need to have a webcam. You need to be willing to put yourself out there too. So if you meet that criteria and you still want to go for it, then
and for the rest of you, just come watch the show on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because even if you're not the one getting reviewed, we cover a lot of stuff that hopefully will be helpful to you as well to hopefully get better sales, make your listings a little bit better, get some great tips. Plus, you can contribute tips because you'll be right there with us to help out.
And the other thing too is, DJ, there's no reason to be embarrassed. Honestly, if you look back at the ones that we do, we are very gentle. I promise you. Neither one of us are perfect. Katie is far more perfect than I am as far as her photos and her titles and things like that, because she's so very particular and specific about what she sells and how she lists and how she creates her titles. My shit is all over the place. I'm not even going to kid.
Yeah, I'm super
all over the place. So there is nothing to be embarrassed about, because if you look at half of my listings, they're not perfect either. So don't worry about it.
Whatever. Everybody has room for improvement. I'm sure that mine, I could be doing better too. Okay, so I don't know what mountain time it is. I don't know what mountain time is.
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be 11 a.m.
Pacific time. So I don't know whatever that is.
I think
mountain
would be 12. I think it's 12 or 1. I'm not sure exactly.
Don't commit. But if you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the little notifications bell, it will let you know when stuff's
Linda
scheduled.
from Australia.
Hey, what's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. She's coming to us from the future. It's Monday morning over there right now. All right, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Boss up.
Peace out.